forecasts of what people's bills are going to become the new year. And the interventions now from Martin Lewis, who's widely trusted and is, he says he's non-partisan, but he's saying that this is a financial cataclysm that's about to take place.
Well, it's interesting. I think for a lot of Tory members, they'll quite like the way Liz Truss looks at this issue. She says it's not for the government to give handouts. That's not the wrong way of addressing the issue. The thing for government to do is to reduce the cost of government, reduce the cost of living that way. I think on handouts, it is true that this crisis is getting so bad now that every voter, no matter what their political ideology, is going to be thinking we need some dramatic, drastic action. And the only party, dare I say it, that's suggesting something quite serious is the Lib Dems.
And this is their windfall tax.
Yeah, and they're suggesting freezing the energy cap and putting $35 billion towards helping with that. They're the only party that seem to have a proposal that might actually help.
I think the interesting thing about them is what they would propose is being seen to do something. It's OK, Liz Truss says, I want to put money back in your pockets, but if you're an earner and you're getting tax cuts, that's fine. But if you're not, it's not fine, and it's not affecting people who are hurting at the moment.
Well, I quite agree, and I think for opposition parties, this has been a great leadership contest, and I think for the Tories it's been a disaster because you've had 8 weeks of drift of, seemingly a government not really in government at a time when people are really starting to get worried. Now, I generally think that the less government is better. But I think no government is a bit of a worry.
Well, we had an intervention, didn't we, from the Prime Minister yesterday, the first time he's spoken out on this whole crisis and saying and hinting that handouts are inevitable from whoever takes over from him, which begs the question, why can't Liz Truss just be honest enough to say that?
Well, it does beg that question, and we may see another U-turn. We've seen quite a few from her so far, so perhaps we'll see another one tonight.
Yeah. We had a commentator in today, a councillor actually said that it was a strength that she was seeing to you change her mind. And, whilst I'm not against that, somebody standing, saying, I got that wrong, she's got a lot of things wrong then on that basis.
Well, that used to be Boris's great line, when the facts change, I change my mind and so on. Yes, to a certain extent, it's good that you don't stick with being wrong, but you should try and get it right in the first place. And when politicians can't ever do that, that's a concern.
What about Rishi Sunak in all this? He's been coming out and saying he's going to give hundreds of pounds more, but he hasn't specified the amount. Of course, he was the mastermind for the latest government intervention in May, 15 billion, I think it was, which meant £400 extra to every single household, regardless of whether they were wealthy or not, and I think £650 to the poorest. But this latest estimate of bills going up by £600 just cancels that out straight away.
Well, Rishi's whole pitch was, I'm the guy who's not going to say whatever you want to hear to get myself elected. But increasingly he is saying whatever you want to hear to get elected. So he's on the economy, he's just not in a strong position. He has been Chancellor. And Liz Truss perhaps went too far by some people's standards by accusing him of Gordon Brown economics. But the fact is, Tories have found this economy to be very antithetical to what they believe in. And Rishi Sunak, as Chancellor, has been responsible.
Yeah, and you've described